If this video hits you like a cold splash of reality you can't ignore, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because the truth we re-diving into could be the wake-up call that stops you from waking up at 80. Realizing you've spent decades in a life that wasn't yours, chasing illusions of health while handing over your power to a system that profits from your fear. Stay locked in till the very end. I've packed this with mind-bending twists, raw life challenges, and revelations that will make you question every safe choice you've made and leave you desperate to reclaim your health, your power, and your freedom before the system claims another year, another decade, another lifetime. Picture this. You wake up every morning, maybe with the first light creeping through your curtains, lace up your sneakers that you bought after reading reviews about the best support for your arches, hit the gym where you swipe your membership card, and jump on the treadmill, tracking every calorie burned on your app. You popped your vitamins, multis, omegas, maybe some turmeric for inflammation down, with a glass of filtered water from your fancy fridge dispenser. You schedule your annual checkup months in advance, pay the insurance bill on time without fail, drink more filtered water throughout the day, track every step on your smartwatch that buzzes. If you sit too long, maybe even squeeze in a quick meditation session before bed, using that app that promises better sleep. You're doing everything the experts recommend, the doctors on TV, the ads popping up on your feed, the influencers with their glowing testimonials, the wellness gurus selling their plans. You feel like you're ahead of the game, like you're winning at this adulting thing, staying proactive, being responsible. But stop for a second. Really stop, right here in this moment. Ask yourself the hard, uncomfortable questions. Are you actually healthier than you were 5 years ago? Do you feel more alive, more vibrant, more energized, more free in your own skin? Or are you quietly more anxious than ever before? Anxious about your blood pressure numbers creeping up just a bit, your cholesterol score that the doctor said was borderline, your next lab result that could reveal something lurking your risk of this disease, or that one creeping up on you like a shadow you can't outrun. Now zoom out and look at the bigger picture, the one that encompasses not just your routine, but the entire global landscape. The World Health Organization reports that global healthcare spending more than doubled from 2002. 2020, we pouring trillions upon trillions into wellness initiatives, pharmaceuticals, screenings, and preventive care like never before in human history. Hospitals are expanding, drug companies are booming, wellness apps are multiplying, fitness trackers are on every wrist. Yet, despite all this investment, chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and autoimmune disorders keep climbing relentlessly. Depression and anxiety rates keep rising to epidemic levels, affecting millions more each year. People keep popping more pills than ever, becoming more dependent on medications for daily functioning, more hooked on the system that promises relief but delivers ongoing management. How does any of that add up logically? What if the system isn't failing us at all? What if it was never built to heal us in the first place, to make us truly independent and robust? What if the entire modern health industry was carefully designed, piece by piece, not to make you truly well and self-reliant, but to keep you just worried enough, just uncertain enough, just dependent enough, to keep coming back for more, year after year, checkup after checkup, prescription after prescription? Think about it deeply. Let it sink in. A perfectly healthy person who trusts their body implicitly, listens to their instincts without second guessing, and lives with natural balance, eating when hungry, resting when tired, moving as needed, doesn't generate endless revenue streams. They don't need monthly subscriptions to supplements that promise to fill gaps in their diet, yearly scans to catch hidden threats, follow-up visits to interpret vague results, or the latest preventive pill pushed by ads during prime time. But a person who's constantly afraid of getting sick unexpectedly, of missing a subtle symptom that could escalate, of aging wrong, and losing vitality too soon, they buy in hook, line, and sinker. They subscribe to the newsletters, the meal plans, the monitoring services. They obeyed the reminders, the alerts, the calls to action. They hand over their power bit by bit, decision by decision, until health is no longer something they own, but something they rent. Health stops being a natural state of being, a harmonious flow with your body's wisdom, and becomes a product you have to keep purchasing, upgrading, maintaining. Prevention becomes fear-based marketing disguised as empowerment. Intervention becomes the only answer to every twinge or worry. Maintenance becomes the endless loop of tests, tweaks, and treatments. You're never done with your health journey. You're never healthy enough by their standards. You just keep adjusting your habits, keep chasing the next benchmark, keep paying for the next layer of protection. This isn't some wild conspiracy theory cooked up in a dark corner of the internet. It's the business model laid bare, The economics of health exposed for what they are. Healthcare today isn't primarily about restoring health to its fullest. Most autonomous formats about sustained, repeat consumption of medical solutions, services, and products. Keep you just sick enough, just off balance enough, to stay plugged into the ecosystem, but never so sick that you give up hope or drop out entirely. Every little ache or fatigue gets amplified and turned into a potential diagnosis that needs a specialist, a test, a product to address it. Every normal emotion, sadness after a loss, stress during a tough week, gets medicalized into something pathological that requires therapy, meds, or intervention. Every natural fear, like worrying about family history, gets funneled into a targeted marketing campaign. Do not wait until a test too late gets screened today. By this policy, try this supplement. The wellness world plays the exact same game, just with a softer, more holistic veneer. Mindfulness apps whisper in your ear that your mind isn't calm enough yet, that you need premium features for deeper peace. Collagen powders hint subtly that you're not youthful enough, that your skin could be firmer with regular doses. Wearables tell you your heart rate variability is off by a few points. So buy the upgrade, take the course, try the new protocol to optimize it. You never arrive at a state of true contentment or wholeness. You just keep spending, keep striving, keep getting a little closer to the illusion of control, all while the system profits from your perpetual pursuit. Back in 1975, a brilliant thinker named Ivan Illich dropped a bombshell book called Medical Nemesis that shook the foundations of how we view health. He argued that modern medicine had become a major threat to health not by accident or incompetence, but by design, through the very structures and incentives built into it. He called it iatrogenesis, harm caused by the healers themselves, the doctors, the institutions, the entire apparatus. And he broke it down into three brutal, eye-opening levels that still ring painfully true today, half a century later. First, clinical iatrogenesis, the obvious direct stuff. Medical errors that kill or maim. Side effects from drugs that create new problems. Wrong prescriptions that spiral into dependencies. Johns Hopkins research once called medical error the third leading cause of death in the US, right behind heart disease and cancer. Statins alone get pushed on millions of people for cholesterol control. Yet for many low-risk individuals, the benefits are tiny and debatable while the risks muscle pain, cognitive issues, diabetes pile up and require more meds to manage. Then comes social iatrogenesis, the insidious way the system erodes your natural self-trust and autonomy. You outsource your instincts to lab results that dictate your mood, doctors' opinions that override your gut feelings, app notifications that buzz with warnings, data points that quantify your every breath. You stop feeling your own body its subtle cues, its natural rhythms, and start trusting machines, algorithms, and experts more than your own lived experience, turning you into a passive recipient rather than an active participant in your well-being. Finally, cultural iatrogenesis, the deepest, most profound cut, the medicalization of life itself, where normal human experiences get performed. Aging becomes a disease to fight with creams, surgeries, and hormones. Death becomes a failure to prevent through endless interventions. Pain, grief, fatigue, these normal parts of being human in a complex world, get turned into problems that need fixing with a pill, a procedure, or a therapy session. Illich put it bluntly and unforgettably. Modern medicine does not empower people. It makes them docile, anxious, and obedient to the experts. And he added, a healthy society is not one with more medicine, more hospitals, more drugs, but one where fewer people need it because they live in balance with themselves and their environment. Here's the twist that changes everything. The one that flips the script on decades of conditioning. Your body isn't broken by default, fragile and waiting to fail without constant oversight. It's not a faulty machine in perpetual need of the next upgrade, recall, or software patch. It's an ancient, intelligent, resilient system that has kept humans alive and thriving through ice ages that froze the planet, famines that starved populations, wars that decimated societies, and plagues that wiped out millions long before blood pressure cuffs existed to measure every fluctuation. Statins were invented to tweak chemistry, or wellness trackers buzzed on wrists to count steps. But the system wants you to forget that innate wisdom, that built-in resilience. It wants you to believe you're inherently fragile, incomplete without their tools, always one step away from disaster, unless you follow their protocol, buy their product, schedule their appointment. The moment you buy that, internalize it, as truth, you hand over your sovereignty completely. You stop living fully in your body and start managing symptoms like a full-time job. You stop trusting yourself, your hunger, your energy, your intuition, and start obeying the data, the diagnoses, the directives from on high. So how do you fight back against this massive, entrenched machine? How do you reclaim what they've convinced you to give away, piece by piece, fear by fear? It starts with one simple, dangerous question that cuts through the noise. Do I truly need this intervention, this test, this supplement, or am I being nudged by fear I never consented to feel? Question every pill pushed your way, every scan recommended, every preventive measure marketed as essential. Ask hard, ask often. Is this genuinely healing me, restoring my balance, or is it keeping me dependent on the cycle, hooked on the next fix? Next, return to what your body already knows instinctively, the basics that have sustained humanity for millennia. Sleep when you're truly tired, letting your natural rhythms guide you instead of alarms. Breathe deeply in fresh air, feeling your lungs expand without apps tracking it. Move, naturally walk, stretch, play not in rigid gym sessions, but in ways that feel joyful. Eat whole, real foods from the earth, listening to your hunger rather than calorie counters. These fundamentals don't require apps with premium upgrades, subscriptions to delivery services, or expert approval from certified professionals. They require your full presence, your undivided attention, your unwavering trust in your own signals and sensations. Finally, and this is the hardest part, the one that challenges everything society, pushes make peace with life's inherent limits, the realities we've been taught to deny. Pain exists as a teacher, not an enemy. Aging happens as a natural progression, not a flaw to erase. Death comes to us all as the ultimate equalizer, not a defeat to outsmart. The system wants you to fight these things endlessly, to see them as failures that demand more intervention, more spending. But when you accept them as integral parts of the human experience, the highs and lows, the beginnings and ends, you stop running from them in perpetual fear. You start living with them in harmony, embracing the full spectrum, and that's where real freedom begins to unfold, quiet and profound. True health was never about chasing endless optimization, tweaking every metric, buying the next solution that promises perfection. It was about living wealth with awareness of your body's needs, with dignity in the face of uncertainty, with choices that come from deep inside you, not from fear-mongering ads or marketing campaigns. The moment you stop treating health like a product you have to purchase month after month and start treating it like a principle you live by day after day, you break the cycle for good. You're no longer under their control, no longer the anxious consumer chasing shadows. You're finally, quietly, powerfully free to experience life on your terms. If you're feeling that pull right now, that quiet rage at how much power you've handed over, that spark of rebellion against the endless cycle, don't wait another minute. Start questioning today. Start trusting yourself again. Your body remembers how to be well, it's wired for it. The question is, will you let it guide you, or will you keep paying for the illusion of safety? The choice is yours. Make it count. Make it bold. Make it now.